Hey everyone, Ash here. Just want to bring up a few things, a few trailers that have been released recently. The Evil Dead, the new Evil Dead Remake trailer. I'll get into that one. Um, the Man of Steel trailer. Talk about that one, and the Dragon Ball Z trailer. For the new Dragon Ball Z movie. I think I'll start with the Dragon Ball Z movie first. I've seen a few trailers. It looks great. It does look like it's going to be a good movie. To be honest, everyone keeps saying they want 90 minutes. I kind of want a 3-hour Dragon Ball Z movie. I would like to see them just say, fuck it, let's do a 3-hour Dragon Ball Z film. Because I could probably easily sit through a 3-hour Dragon Ball Z film. What I am hoping for this one is that what I really want for this film, this Dragon Ball Z movie, first I want this to be in the I want this to be released in theaters in the US, so that would just be fucking awesome. Right there. And if they can possibly get a summer release. Love to see a summer release for Dragon Ball Z. The new Dragon Ball Z movie, but with the summer blockbusters, I think that would be cool. Grant would make any of the money they would, the movie that some of the others that are coming out would, but still, I think it'd be cool as hell if they finally release this in theaters. So that's one thing I do want. Is a few things. I believe from what I'm hearing, this is going to take place 2 years after they defeat Majin Buu. That's what I've been hearing. It's going to be 2 years. Could be wrong. And they're facing Anubis, and Goku's going to have a really hard time fighting him. That's for damn sure. I'm not exactly too sure what's happening in the story. I think Anubis might be being controlled. We don't know yet. Oh wait, it's just wait and see until the movie comes out. So, but it's going to be a cool film. I can't wait to watch it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll save Evil Dead for last. I do want to talk about Man of Steel a bit. The trailer looked pretty good. I did think it did look like a good trailer. The second one that came out looked good. My only thing is the person who's directing it is Zack Snyder. And last movie I saw him do was Sucker Punch, which was terrible. One of my problems has been with some of Zack Snyder's films, with Sucker Punch and even 300, which I do like 300, but he relied too much on visuals for 300 and not enough on story, I felt, in that movie. I felt when you weren't seeing swords fighting, the movie really took a dive, just kind of started dragging its feet. With 300, if people remember that film, it's when the Spartans are, after they're not fighting, you see they go back to Sparta where there's where his wife is trying to get more men to help Leonidas, and it's really poorly done. I didn't like any of those scenes in 300. I thought they were poorly done, poorly executed scenes. Like I said though, I do like 300. I like a lot of the visual look for 300. I thought it looked amazing, just was weak on story. So there's that. But Sucker Punch was just terrible. Visually it looked okay. I didn't think special effects looked that great on that film, but it had a terrible story. It was Zack Snyder's fucking wet dream. That's all that film was. And so I've not seen Watchmen, so I can't say how that film is. I can't say how Watchmen is, but 300 was visually looked impressive and had a decent story. Not the best I've seen, and Sucker Punch was terrible, and I'm not sure if anything else I can say of Zack Snyder's done, directed, but I would prefer it if it would have been someone like Josh Whedon or Mark Webb who had done Superman, but the new Man of Steel trailer. But Zack Snyder, I just hope he doesn't rely too much on visuals. Says fuck a story, let's throw as many visuals we can. I hope he actually tries to make a legitimately good story. It looks like it's gonna have a good story too. It looks like it's gonna be well written. I think it's gonna have a very well written. I think it is, but I'm still. Zack Snyder, he focuses a lot on visuals, which is something that I just get sick of with him. I would prefer a different director. I am glad Nolan is producing it though, because I know he's very heavy on drama, which is a good thing. Which I'm looking for. That's one thing I'm glad is that it is Nolan who's producing it, because like I said, he's heavy on drama, and I know he's gonna tell Zack Snyder not to overload the visuals. We gotta have a good script and story here as well. So that's what I'm looking for there. So yeah, so it looked cool for Man of Steel, but Zack Snyder, I don't trust him as director that much. Really don't. Um, and finally, Evil Dead. I'm sure people want to know my personal opinion on the Evil Dead remake. The trailer was crap. That's simple. The trailer was terribly done. You had no clue what was going on. They didn't do any. They did a bad job with any trying to tell you anything, like show you anything was happening in that film. It's like, well, you know already, but it's like it was just a bunch of. It was just really was a terrible trailer. I think the movie itself, we don't know how it's going to turn out. The new Evil Dead remake, it could be good, it could be terrible. I'm not sure yet. The trailer though was god awful. I hate the trailer for the Evil Dead remake. I thought it was a bad trailer. I do. Hopefully we'll get it. Hopefully the movie will be much better. I do have my doubts over a few things. First, the way they're doing the demons, from what I saw in that trailer, how they're awakening all the Kandarian demons. This one, it's like he has to. He's like, there's clues in the book, I guess. I don't like that. I prefer they just stick with the original way, where you play the tape and it tells about, and the guy's telling about what happened. And then he starts reading enchantments, and then everything goes to hell. I was hoping for that. Hoping for them to at least do that, but here it just feels like, I don't know, it just doesn't, that I didn't like. I thought that was a little bit of an overkill right there. Surprisingly enough, I'm kind of glad that Ash isn't in this. Actually, another thing too is that people are going, well, where's the humor in any of this? Okay, I hate to break this to everyone. There's actually, you know what, there's a few more things I want to bring up. A few more things I want to bring up about this film. First, the original Evil Dead film was not a comedy. It was a horror gore film with a little bit of psychological in there, kind of a mind fuck in there too. But that's what it was. There was very little to no comedy in the original Evil Dead film. It was a straight up gore. It was straight up just horror and gore. That's all it really was in the original Evil Dead film. Bruce Campbell, when he played Ash the first time, he wasn't some badass. He was a guy freaking the fuck out. He literally was freaking out. He wasn't sure what the hell was going on. So that's the truth. I mean, there wasn't. So people were confused, saying, "Oh well, where's all the comedy and the medieval stuff?" That's in the other films. The first Evil Dead film was a dark, gritty horror film with a lot of gore and a little bit of psychological impact in their film as well. But that's what it is. The original Evil Dead film, and I do like the fact they're actually going back to their roots. Also, I've noticed that people are asking why there's no Ash. I was kind of glad there's no Ash in this film. No one can really do Bruce Campbell. No one can really play Ash better than Bruce Campbell. No one. I mean, you could try to, but it just won't work. You really can't have anyone who could really do what he did. The only actor I thought could potentially pull off the Ash character was Ryan Reynolds. He's the only one I could see someone doing it. But besides him, I can't see anyone doing that role. It's one of those things I could just see no matter who they picked, people were going to bitch and complain about this, no matter who they picked. So I'm just glad they did, because so it saves some fucking drama. Save some freaking drama about this shit, because I know people, if they fucking had put on Ryan Reynolds or an actor to play Ash, people would have freaked out and said, "Oh my god, that's not fucking Bruce Campbell, you're not like Bruce Campbell." Well, no shit, he's not like Bruce Campbell. But people were going to bitch and say, "Oh well, it's terrible now because the actor playing Ash is horrible." I knew that's why they didn't do it. They knew that was going to be a major issue for this remake, so that's one of the reasons why they probably didn't put Ash in there, which I was glad. I'm glad that Ash is not in the new Evil Dead remake. But it does get me something thinking about this. I got one more complaint. I want to say that for last, because this one complaint is driving me fucking nuts with how stupid people are. Okay. I was thinking they could do this. This could be, because I've been hearing this is a remake / sequel as well. Some people are calling it a remake / sequel. And what I'm thinking they might do, and this would actually be kind of a badass thing if they did this. The film, basically, it's about 75% over. You're over. There's maybe 2 people left alive, and Suddenly out of nowhere, they go into the cat. Suddenly out of nowhere, the cabin's a complete wreck, blood everywhere, and suddenly the door opens. You suddenly see shoes. You suddenly see this guy walking. It's a guy walking. You can't see. You can only see his feet. That's all you can see. Camera goes up, and it's Ash, Bruce Campbell. It's Bruce Campbell himself playing Ash one more time. He looks around, goes groovy, and then he has to fight the Deadites one more time. That would be awesome right there, just to see him come back one more time, and he fights the Deadites one more time. Has one more war with the Necronomicon. It's a final battle. He even fights Evil Ash one more time. Evil Ash just makes an appearance. It's just like it's a full-on brawl between Evil Ash versus Ash. It's this full-on brawl. It's the final ending to everything. It wraps up everything perfectly for this. It's a remake / sequel. That's what I think that's what I would love to see them do for this new Evil Dead film. If it was a remake / sequel, because they've done that before with Evil Dead 2. That was a remake / sequel as well. Started off as the remake to the original and then became a sequel. If they were to do that, I'd fucking love it. Oh my god, that would just be the perfect ending. It goes in with Ash fighting the Deadites one more time, destroying the Necronomicon, and that's your ending right there. And it's just kind of, it ends. I think that would be a great way to end it. And since Raimi's done that before, since they've done that before with a remake / sequel, I think they should do it here. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Do you think they should do it the way I thought? Actually, wait. That's right. I have one more rant I wanted to discuss. This is something that's been also bugging the shit out of me. This is the last thing. Promise. Just a quick thing I want to bring up. Everyone's been saying, people, when this remake, Evil Dead Remake, when I've watched the trailer, I've seen a lot of comments from a lot of idiots say, this is a copy of Cabin in the Woods. Are you an idiot? People who say that, I want to ask you, are you that fucking stupid? No, it's not a remake of Cabin in the fucking Woods. Okay? It's not a rip-off of Cabin in the Woods. Any way, shape, or form, it's not a fucking rip-off of Cabin in the Woods. You know what it is? It's a remake of one of the greatest horror films of all time. A horror film that inspired Cabin in the Woods. So no, people, it's not ripping off Cabin in the Woods. If someone tells me that's nothing more than a rip-off of Cabin in the Woods, they're a fucking moron. Okay? Go watch the original Evil Dead. And we'll prove it's not a rip-off of Cabin in the Woods. Anyone who's saying that it's a rip-off of Cabin in the Woods, seriously, shut up. Because, no, it's not ripping off Cabin in the Woods. It's a remake of one of the greatest horror films of all time, Evil Dead. So, people, please. Anyone wants to tell me, oh, it's just a rip-off of Cabin in the Woods? Shut up. It's not a rip-off of Cabin in the Woods. They're completely different films, in general, if you think about it. Very different films. So, no, people, it's not a... Anyone who wants to tell me that all it is a rip-off of Cabin in the Woods, shut the hell up. Anyways, you guys, just comment below and let me know what you think. And this is Ash saying so long. I am out. Good night.